Well, we're live. Okay, well, better hurry up and get this quickly done. Just putting some shields back on that board we worked on last night. 8202 whatever. This one. That's just come out of the dryer. So we'll probably set that up tomorrow. Oop, put that back up there. But we've got more CD3215 boards to work on, so yeah, a couple of them. One is 850, the other is it's a 928. So the 928 and the 289 or whatever, they always catch me out. The numbers are too similar, makes my brain go funny. Alright, I think that 281, what? Yeah, turn off, like I said, makes my brain go funny. I might actually start with the 928 because that one's been languishing in the workshop for a long time and has been giving me absolute hell. Hey, Martin, Owls, 3X, so let's go ahead. Andrew, Barry, yeah, this one, I could have almost sworn that I actually have swapped all four on this one, but well, we'll give it a shot and see what we can find. I'm just going to bring up my flexboard view with the guide. So 928. I just realised I have not transferred that data over for the 928. So I'm going to have to update the open board data files. Oh well, you can sit here and watch me do that. Cut and paste our way to happiness. Hopefully the 928 has something similar in terms of naming conventions as the other ones. Okay. What? I don't even have a... Wow, I didn't even have an entry for this one. Just open the 281. Well, I'd still like to actually create a distinct file. What I'll do is I'll just copy it. So what is the distinction between them then? Two, eight, one. There you go. So that's working. That's all I needed. And we can essentially just go through and do much what we did last night. The only trouble is I am actually running out of working 3215s. So we may have to do a little bit of scurrying around trying to steal some from elsewhere. Hey Nelson and Hectech, Hatra. Okay. But at least we've got a process now. Ach, niemand. Come on. This is another one where I wonder if it's going to be the opposite parts. By the way, I did check that last night when I said I was having trouble with that one particular port. I took it out today and it certainly was corroded. In fact, I might still have it here. Ah, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this will be why the original failure probably happened. Yeah, that's a bit gnarly. So yeah, that port was fine, but this one, not quite so much. I actually do wonder if you could ultrasonic them and see what they're like, but I think that one has burned through too much, so probably better off to just bin it. But I have considered occasionally keeping them for these connectors. You know, just sort of salvage that particular connector and maybe the metal backplate. You never know when you need a spare connector like that. Same with the screen plexes. Like, okay, this one blew the 50 volts, but we may still need that for something else. 281 has the Skylake, 928 has the KV Lake. Okay. Yeah. How do you find time to actually analyze all this piano? Really, I mean, it's quite something. Okay, we're going to set our multimeter to 50 volts, high speed. Okay, and let's get underway. Okay. I'm just surveying the landscape first. So I'm not sure if I actually have the right... I have a feeling that this side is going to be this lower port, but easy way to tell is we'll just see if we've got voltage on that fuse. And we do. Okay, so my bad. So we are connected to the right port for this particular one. And in this case, we are U3200. Yes. Hey, Jessica. Yes, I've had a scope camera lag. Really? Is it bad? Yeah, good rule. Never throw anything away. That's true. How bad's that scope lag? Because it seems tolerable here, but then again, I'm not the expert. Okay, so we've checked that. Next step. Oops. Got 3.3. I imagine after a while I actually won't need this guide anymore. Got 1.8. Yeah, it'll just become... Ah, we got a problem there already. So we've only got... Oh. Okay, we got voltage jumping up and around. Is that my probe or is it... It might just be my probe. Hey Bruce, the kittens we don't have anymore. We actually, about a week ago. It's been a little bit rough. Honestly, we would have, if we could have, we would have rather have kept them. Okay, again we don't have 1.1 here. Okay, so we don't seem to have 1.1. Hey Tony W. Instead we've got... Yeah, instead we've got unknown trash. Disconnect that. Switch to ohms. See if we've got a short. Would appear not, given that it's giving me overload. Or out of range, rather. No, we don't have a short on that, so that's 1.1 volt dead on that one. Keith, now the question is it really that at fault, or... No. Well, guess we'll take it off and find out. It looks like it's been replaced, so that's what bothers me right now. So how's the scope lag now? Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's serious scope lag. I don't know what's going on there. You try to stop the camera and start again. Shouldn't be like that. It's not even 2 frames per second, it's like momentarily correct and then the rest of the time incorrect. It shouldn't be taking this long to come back up. What in... I gotta admit, it will be nice when I... Sorry about the squeaky noise then. No, I think I know what's going on here. Yeah, okay, bear with me. Yep, that's what I thought. Freaking cameras. Yeah. For some reason, the cameras fight with each other. This is what I hate about USB. You know, USB was supposed to be just plug it in, doesn't, you know, as long as you're not chewing up all of the bandwidth of the particular channel or port, it should just work fine. But I'm plugging USB 2 devices into separate channels and they still manage to clash every now and then. Okay, now the thing is, I would have just lost my overhead camera. Amazing, yeah. See, I'm moving my hand around and it's not doing anything. Overhead device 920. Okay, that's better. Okay, crazy. Yeah, the rubber band snap. No, I've got the main board itself has 2 channels of USB, or maybe 3. I've got a 2-channel USB card, and I've got a single-channel USB card, like 2 separate cards. Yeah, I don't know what else I can do other than get a proper HDMI conversion card, like a Magewell or something like that. Anyway. And it's not because the it's not because the cheap HDMI converters I've got are no good, but rather it's just that that was a really crappy it's just that I'm trying to reduce the level of contention on the board in terms of the USB support. Linux USB 3 support has been traditionally quite flaky. I think for a long time there was this problem where you couldn't even have 2 USB 3 devices on the same bus or something like that running at a certain speed. It'd just give up. And it turned out to be someone's programming mishap. It wasn't mine. Well, did I move that? Yeah, Hectech, yeah, Lewis has, I think, a 4-port, I'm pretty sure it's a Magewell, 4-port Magewell, and they work well under Linux. And like I said, that would be fine. And I think really what I need to do is actually get a better overhead camera. So we tried to use the one that Jim supplied, but we couldn't solve that unfortunate situation with the... Oh, what the hell are you? You gotta be a BO3 or something. Wow, you're a different construction though. See how this is a green one? Oh, this is a Z. This is a Z, aren't you? Yeah, you're a Z. That's why. Screen tearing? Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. And it's very frustrating because, that was the whole point of USB is, try and make things easier in that respect. But it seems like there just ends up being too much overhead just with the administration of the protocol in terms of context switching, whatever they want to call it. And it kills the performance very rapidly. So in the end, you're lucky if you can get away with one device per USB controller and then hope that the USB controllers don't argue with each other too much. See, I can get away with it if I'm just doing two at once, like the face camera and the overhead, or the face camera and the microscope, things like that. But if I try to do the four-way, in other words, I'm bringing in 3 cameras with the four-way, it just gets too upset. That's right, yeah. USB, do everything but not. It almost sounded Yoda-ish. Do everything but do not. Yeah, Tony, thanks. Appreciate that. I had a feeling that is what happened, but I appreciate you double checking for me. Always good to be sure. You can get the... Oh, I forgot about the fume extractor. You can get single port and dual port HDMI capture cards from the same place, from the Magewell group. But I kind of think you may as well just go and get a 4-port one. This has got a defect on it as well. Yeah, may as well get a 4-port one and then that's it. You shouldn't have to, do anything from there. Something of Linux? I think it's just USB, in all honesty. I don't think it's a Linux fault per se. I find the same sort of thing happens in Windows a lot, particularly with hard drives in Windows. Like if you try to put 2 hard drives, USB 3 hard drives, and you try to transfer between one to the other, it basically just takes a dump in its pants and goes and cries in the corner. It is absolutely terrible. Yeah, there's a defect on this one. You just hear. I don't know if you guys can see that. Now, I don't know if that's a critical defect. I might put some alcohol on that and see if it brightens it up. Yeah, you can see it there. That slightly pale line there. So that means that trace probably took a bit of a hit. So probably best we don't use that. Hey, what the? Been a while. It's not exposed, it's just being upset by something. So like too much current or something like that. Okay, what's this? Was this the Z one that I was looking at before? Okay, tell me, little chip, why... Oh, you're just the one we removed. Very easy to get confused with these chips. Yeah, I think the 2-port is only a couple of $100 less than the 4-port. Or you can say the 4-port's only a couple $100 more. And so I do think it's better future-proofing to get a 4-port and one. Either I'll wait till Lewis gets sick of his and upgrades to 60 frames per second and I'll take his. That's not going to happen. And as it is, if I'm going to dump money into it, I'm probably going to go and get a 60 frame per second setup anyway. And this one's got it as well, actually quite a bit worse. I don't know if it legitimately means they're faulty, but they certainly... You see it on SMCs as well. And some of those pads are fizzing in strange ways, which means there's a violation or something in that layer. Oh, that kind of leaves me up the creek a bit here. Because effectively I'm going to have to now start looking for more 3215s. The worst thing is I probably threw out a number of functioning ones at some point. Yeah, Hathra, a lot of the original drama with Linux USB 3 was due to that original fault I was talking about. The coding fault. When they fixed that up, then finally things did improve, but it still wasn't... It still never lives up to what we're supposed to be experiencing. I'm going to be a little bit ticky-tocky off if I can't find some... I'll have to check some recent donors and see if I can find a couple that I can take off. As far as I can remember, all the donors I do have, they all by default have the 3215 stripped off them. Nobody sends you a donor board with 3215s attached. Hey, Adrian Higgins. Yeah, definitely nothing in that lot. Getting scared. Chances are all I've got are the boring old B00 can't use them type ones. Yeah. Stripped. Doesn't even have them as far as I know, do they? Ooh, 840, but I bet you they're gonna be B00s. Yeah, you're gonna be B00s as well. As are you. Oh, there's a question. I've got so many B00s. Can I replace the C series with all B series? Thank you, Adrian. Coffee time. Oh, I wish. I wish. Cameras hunting. That'll be the auto. Let's fix that up. Yeah, it's good. Miss Bianco, hello. Yeah, AJ, I mean, they've been doing it for a couple of years, but it's definitely very frustrating. And if someone should happen to accidentally send you a complete board, you know it's not going to be the ones you want. Holy crud! But oh, great. Oh, they sent me a donor. It's got COOs, but look at the damage there. Look at the we'll try. We might get lucky, but what a pain in the posterior. Yeah, bees everywhere. Bees. So all the ones I got are bees are fine. Now, as I've said, I'm pretty sure these don't have any at all. They use a different chip for it on this. What actually chip do they use on this, or is it built in to something? I think it's this one there. That one there, or is... No, I don't know. I know what I'm talking about. Just ignore me. And Robin understands the Wicker Man reference, Burning Man. Yeah, I mean, really, of all the stuff-ups, it happens to be on the only one that's got the COOs on it. Hey, Mr. Hook, how are you going there? We'll see how they look when we take them off. We might be lucky. Might just be superficial damage. You know, like losing an arm or something like that. Saving Private Ryan style superficial damage. Doesn't look too bad. Seeing the doc tomorrow. Okay, good to hear, Jim. Well, that's a cluster. Well, I guess I'll take my chances, eh? But wait, what is that? That's damage in that corner there. Right there. We'll have a look at the other one. What are the chances, really? So I raised my hopes up, then expertly dashed them. And this one's even worse. I can see why they didn't strip the parts off this one. They're probably like, nope, that's ruined. We don't want to sell damaged parts as new. Oh, that's like at least 10 times worse. Flip me, that was a little warm. Apparently when you remove parts with hot air, gets them a little bit warm, and apparently when you grab those slightly warm parts, it tends to burn your fingers, would you believe? Shock horror news at 11. Okay, I'm gonna have to wash this one down a bit. I'm actually not seeing any of those delamination defects in there yet. I'm sure there's probably some lurking. Someone's taking my damn toothbrush. Oh. Ha, Jimbo, yeah, you do that. In fact, forget the blackjack. It's kind of sad that we have to... yeah, there we go. There's the defects on the edge there. Damn it. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what corrosion is doing. It's wicking its way into the edge there and causing the layers to delaminate. So, junk. Damn it, man. What the heck? What I can't work out is how I've gone through so many 3215s. I know I have not had as many repairs as what I bought. Now the only thing I can think of that would, how could you say, explain it is if I've actually, what are you? If I have actually, a couple of those ones I was looking at were actually defective from new, as it were. This is depressing as hell. I'm just gonna check my slots. Ooh, I've got something here. But you're gonna be a dud as well. You're gonna be a dud. You're gonna be the original dud. I know you are. Well, it's turned me into a cranky pants, I will tell you that much. Not sure what to make of this one, but I have a feeling it could be defective. But right now, visually at least, it doesn't seem to be. Of course that means diddly squat, because obviously not every single one is gonna actually have visual defects about it. And as I said before, it's not a guarantee that when you see that it is defective. It just seems to be a trait that you probably don't want on the chip. You don't want the chip showing signs of internally delaminating. Now the question for me is, since I've got another board, I'm gonna Looks like I'm going to have to go and buy 10 CD3215s in a hurry, or maybe 20 in fact this time. Certainly not going to be any in Australia at sane prices. People are going to be asking like $30 a chip, and while that is a supply-demand market, I'm not going to honour someone's desire to have $30 per chip. Yeah, you're pretty scratched up, buddy. Yeah, we'll give it a go. Testing jig. Yeah, it's probably an overkill. Oh, don't do that to me. Oh, thank goodness, it was just a bit of flaky trash. Oh. Probably by the time you stuff around with it, it's going to be quicker to simply put the chip on the board and try it. Although I suppose you could do the testing rig so that it uses probe pins rather than having to have balls on the chip, so you can do it without it being balled. It's just one of those tools though that you sound great in theory, but chances are in real life you're never going to really use it. Sorry, just trying to blow some trash out of this. See you, Jim. Hope you get some sleep. Hope tomorrow goes acceptably well. Am I still using the crusty paste from yesterday? This is definitely yesterday's paste. Yep, it's crusty. It's gone the way of Krusty the Clown. Scrape it off, get some new. Hey Robin, currently trying to fix a fan circuit on top of an old PA amp. Yeah. Out of my world. Is that a ball I see? 'Twas indeed. Kind of jumping in a bit fast here. All hands on deck. Hey Philip from Greece, how are you? So interesting how many balls actually stuck. Remember, there's a hole in a row there that is not meant to be sticking, but it is. Like all these here. I gotta be careful what I'm saying when I'm doing this process, because YouTube the last week or two just seems to be obsessed with demonetizing me, and I have to keep appealing the demonetization and requesting a manual review. The trouble is, by the time they do get around to it, you've lost your peak traffic scenario anyway, so it's like, yeah. Yeah, hectic. Some of the terminology we use seems to, I'm guessing anyway, seems to trigger their censorship. It certainly can't be swearing on my behalf, because I essentially do not swear for the most part. And we've seen how verbal the likes of Mr. Rossman can get, and I believe he has not been demonetized for that sort of thing, which makes me think there is no way they should be demonetizing me. Yeah, I suppose ticked off, but I suppose that's what could be happening. Someone could be having a field day, just reporting each live stream. Someone from Snowflake Central, perhaps. You gotta wonder, what sort of terrible life does someone lead to have to resort to that kind of behavior? Gecko agrees. It's annoying when the part sticks to your tweezers and not to the board. I definitely love how I split that one tweezer in half. Got myself a nice little tip to control things. I've never ever selected child friendly. I've explicitly always set it to, this is not a child friendly channel. So they can't blame that one. I suppose some kids are 10 years old. I mean, some people are 10 years old in the head. Permanently. Growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. What the hell? I've really got to back off on the amount of flux I'm putting down on those, because they're swimming way too much. Hey, Mr. Nash. And Zayam Sadikovic, thank you for the €229. Maybe my Afrikaans has been yeah. Now, if I was actually proper swearing in Afrikaans, I could get it, but that I'm not even doing. Who knows? It takes all kinds, that it certainly does. I really don't know why. Oh, well, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, we're not getting our 20 volts. I have a feeling there's something else amiss on this board. I'll have to have a look and see where that 1 volt line runs off to. Uh, 0.6, 3.4, 3.3, 1.8, 1.8. Yeah, I'm still just getting 0 on that, which is actually kind of interesting because we've changed the chip, but we've got the same fault. Now, it could actually be a common fault that happens on this particular chip, or it could be an issue with the board. So what is this actually? What is this? Alright, so it's simply, it's an internal. We can always remove that capacitor. I mean, I'd be surprised, but you never know. Sometimes you just got to do that. You go, well, tried everything else, so let's try something different. So what is it? You're a 2.24 volt. Sorry, I realise you guys didn't get to see it. 2.24 volt 201. I do not have any 2.2s in 201, let alone 4 volts, so we're going to have to find a replacement. Okay. Oh, okay, here we go. Pionov's got its information. The 1.1 volt BMC LDO is used by the internal logic to negotiate USB PD power, right? Yep. USB controller must be able to read the Thunderbolt ROM. Pionov, I don't read every comment. You get to have... You can sit there and you can yell it a few times at me, because at least the people know who you are, and you're a mod, so it's not like you can be kicked off. So why don't you just keep repeating it until I get irritated and notice what you've said. I mean, really, really. Thinking that I know what every comment has been posted. Come on, give me a break. sounds like something that we need to add into the comments for the repair sequence. Interesting then that that one worked last night, because that was the fault we had last night. Mind you, we were getting 1.1 on the other units. Alright, so if we're looking at Thunderbolt communications in that case, since we all want to suddenly do that, oh, let's see, the ROM you say. It's probably going to be easier for me to just find the damn ROM chip there and work back from that. Is that the one? $28.90 or UVO 90. Okay, I was going to say, it doesn't seem like I got the right ROM chip, and there you go. You showed up just in time. So it'll probably be $28.90. Which is naturally on the other side of the board. Alright, which interface is it using? This side? Or this side? I'm gonna guess this. They don't look the healthiest, but they're not that bad either. Standard SPI ROM. Oh, they're mossy and miso. Okay, my bad. Wait, why am I reading 4.2 on what's supposed to be a 3.3 line? This here, see it says 3, well let's try pin 8. It's just interesting, I'm showing 4.2 And what I would have thought would have been 3.3. So, pin 8 down the cap here. Yeah, that's a little way over the top. So where is that line generated? It's up here. C200. Am I plugged into the right one again, or have I gone and picked up the wrong one? Okay, 4.66, 318. What the hell? 32. 18. What? Okay, so that's reading 318 there, so that should have been all I should have been getting on that other side. Why have I got 4.2 on the other side? Unless I plugged it in the wrong way. Unless I'm measuring at the wrong place, but as far as I know, it's the right place. I hate it when you get jobs like this where crazy stuff starts happening. Okay, so that's showing 3.1. So I would say that that chip that we put back on is a dud. No great surprise. Well, I was worried it was going to be a dud, and it probably is a dud. And without question, hey Travis, without question that would clearly be Pelnov's fault again for failing to suitably notify me as I wandered into the trap of the 1.1 volt, 1.2 volt LDO trap. Thank you very much, Pelnov, for not yelling loud enough. Clearly you need to have a bat phone or something to my office. Oh yeah, Pelnov's causing plenty of trouble. Now the fun thing is, where did I put... Oh man. It's one of these chips here, damn it. It's not helping that I don't have a fresh supply. Can't get high on my own supply. And I'm feeling tired as hell. That's my excuse, I'm sticking to it. Alright, let's clean up the pads. Let's do it all again. Might as well just go microscope. Oh shoot. What did I do with that chip that I just had? I don't know which chip I just pulled. Was it this one? Was it... Okay, there's a way we can find out. I need to just go back and see what the numbering was on the one I just pulled and see whether it had 139 on it or something else. It's 860. So it's probably going to be the 139 or the 860 was the one that was originally on. I'd say these are the two I've just worked on, because these look terrible, these ones over here. Yeah. Yeah. Good reason to record everything, eh? Okay, that's the one that... Okay, these are the two that came off that liquid damage board. I'm just going to throw them straight in the bin. Yeah, they're gone. They're in the bin. Now, this Z one we know definitely is faulty, so it's going to go in the bin too. Basically, I'm just eliminating defectives. Now, the trouble is the Sharpies come off when you reflow and alcohol, so they don't tend to be as effective as you want. And I'm pretty sure these are the two that have... Okay, that crusting is different. That... Yeah. I'm waiting for some good soul to go back in the video. Ow. Once again, hot things are hot. No, I didn't get enough. I haven't had enough sleep in a long time, to be honest. It's been a very long time since I've ever woken up with that feeling of, I had enough sleep, I'm happy to approach the day now. Most days it's a case of, oh dear God, I'm awake, oh no, here we go, another day. Better get on with it, struggle out. The first thing I usually have to do is go give Micro his insulin. You know, it's not something you can just forget. Tricky to read the numbers off the chips? Ah, bugger. Alright. I guess we'll have to play the 50-50 game. Okay, so this one's defective. I can see the little golden delaminations internally. It's a bin job. This one will have the ultra fine one on it. Yeah. You can actually see the surface changes there in that back corner. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see that there's a buckle in the layer. I don't know if that is legitimately, but none of the other corners seem to really have it. Actually, no, there's a few areas. My bad. Oh yeah, there's the little tiny trace defect in the corner closest to me. Can barely see that. Bugger. I can try this one. It's the closest thing we've got to a working one, visually. Or rather... yeah. Here's the fun thing. We don't actually know which one of these... So I'm about to either reball the one I just reballed. What a pain. Oh well. 50-50. Go to YouTube and check your own video. No, it won't. Clearly it's not going to show me what I'm looking for, I suspect. Actually, let me try. Come on, stop moving it around. Stop moving it around. Okay, the original is the big funny G. So there we go. That's what we needed. And that's it. Right there. It was the one I picked. That's lucky. Right, that means this one that I've got in my hand needs to go in the bin. Oh, right, no worries. I'm not used to bringing up my own videos. It feels kind of strange to do that. It's kind of like looking at yourself in a parallel universe doing something you did 5 minutes ago. Half the problem is it's not really going to sleep that's a problem for me. It's the fact that we keep getting woken up by things. And there's also a sense of resentment's not the word I'm after, but there is a sense of we spend the whole day working, things like that, just trying to get things done, and then when it comes to about midnight, 1 o'clock at night, you just want to kick back and relax. And so you feel like you have this, I deserve to be able to just kick back, relax, watch some TV, enjoy myself. But the trouble is you do that until about 3 in the morning. And which of course just makes things terrible for the next day. Hey Jesse Carrillo. So it's a bit of a vicious cycle. because then you have a crappy day the next day, and you finally get through it, and you're like, man, I just want to reward myself for getting through that crappy day. And you do it again. From CA, what says in California. Well, yeah, no wonder I was wondering why I so rapidly reballed the other one. And I realised I had it on 460. Well, explains a lot of things. Like at the moment, I'm watching another Netflix series. I'll tell you, series are my downfall. If I'm going to watch something, I just need to watch a movie. And at least, even if it's 2 hours, it's over at the end. Hopefully. But now I'm watching The Queen's Gambit. I'm kind of hoping they do actually... I'm hoping it sort of stays at least mildly interesting from the chess side. I'm kind of worried it's going to just turn into a drama piece. It certainly seems like it's heading to the drama piece way though. What? Why are you no come out? Yeah. It's a good series so far? Okay, good. I'm on episode 4 or something at the moment, so you know, I am enjoying it. It is holding me over just enough. But I know it can be damn. There we go, finally free. Sometimes these series can suck you in. Like, you commit yourself to about 5 or 6 episodes and then you realise it's falling apart and you're like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm already 5 or 6 in. Do I keep watching? I will say I was surprised with Killing Eve. It was not a series I thought I would be interested in, but I was pleasantly surprised at how they did Killing Eve. I thought it was definitely a good watch. From my perspective, of course, you know, not everyone's going to agree. And what's some others that I enjoyed? Deadwood. Shame they kind of killed that after the, what was the second or third season? And then of course after Deadwood I went off to Justified. That was pretty good. Dragged out a little bit, but I'm glad they ended it well enough. Have you seen Ragnarok season 1? I have seen it being advertised. I haven't watched it yet. I don't mind subtitles, by the way. Subtitles are perfectly fine by me. That's how I watch everything. The US elections have been a great reality TV show. Tony, no, I'd say they sucked. Went on for too long, 4 years, and half the viewers are upset no matter what you do. Hey Mark, how's it going there? Welcome. I haven't seen Banshee advertised here. You got to also remember, sometimes we don't get series here in Australia. I was hoping that Equalizer movie 2, Equalizer 2, was going to be here on Australian Netflix, but it's not. It's a shame. I'd like to see that. Pretty much anything Denzel Washington is worth watching in most cases. Yeah, Adrian, you tend to have that unfortunate binge watch problem, and everything goes to hell. Work, relationships, eating, bodily care, it all goes. Mark, we're getting through. It's been a little bit tricky because a bit sort of bittersweet at the moment because they are putting up the pictures of the kittens on the rescue page on the Angel Paws site, so we can see the kittens that we've raised on there, and yeah, it causes spontaneous allergic reaction to the eyes and the throat. It's hard, I beat myself up a lot too because of the fact that I feel like I should have had this house sorted out already, and if we had, we probably would have had a better chance of being able to, give them a nice life. Let's get a VPN. I couldn't be bothered. Do I have a Patreon? No. I probably never will have a Patreon on the grounds of the fact that I've explained it before, but basically when people at the moment send me money or things or contributions and things like that, they're sending it to me for what I've already done. Whereas with Patreon, it tends to be intentional or not. Patreon tends to be more payments for what you're going to do. And so as a consequence, people start to develop this sensation that if you don't produce videos or content rapidly enough, once you're on Patreon, then they come after you with pitchforks and knives and fire. I mean, it's not intentional, but hey, that cap just pretty much just came clean off. Like I said, it's not intentional, but essentially Patreon means we are paying you for what you're going to do for us, whereas PayPal, YouTube contributions, things like that, is for what you have done for us. Subtle difference, but very important in my opinion. Yeah, Patreon's an anxiety-inducing. Yeah, you are right, Barry. It's just, understandably, we have anxiety about their well-being. It's the nurturing side, the care, the protective side. Robin, no fires in your amp? That's pretty good. What is that, A or B class amp? If you're lucky, it's a full A class. You don't see many of them around though. Yeah, that cap jumped off way too quick. It shouldn't have done that. It actually looked like it might have just been floating there, which is kind of interesting. Wonder if it was our fault. Unlikely, but you never know. Let's see. If it jumps up to 20 volts, we'll know it was. Yeah. So much for that green theory. It was definitely loose. It shouldn't have come off that quick. Unfortunately, it appears it was not actually the cause. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so let's go check and see if we have a sane voltage on that ROM. And I'm kind of curious if the ROM experienced a high volt. Oh no, it wouldn't have been the original case. I was going to say if the ROM experienced a slightly higher voltage, could that have killed it? But most of them are fairly tolerant of 5 volt type scenarios. Yeah, as long as you don't demand too much of them. Okay, so we're closer to where we should be now, so that's good. It's an old Class I. Class I. What's Class I? I don't know what Class I is in amps. Oh, Class A, okay. Yeah, if it's really heavy, like tens of kilos, and it's only rated for 10 or 20 watts, then it probably is a Class A. Okay, 2891, 2893. Okay. Alright, so these are supposed to be 3K3 each, so let's see if we've got anything close to that. Really? How did I get 50 mega ohm range? You're just joking with me there. Okay. Sometimes I wonder if this multimeter is trolling me. Okay, 3K3. 3K3. Okay, so the pull-ups are good. 2892. I'd be surprised if they were damaged, but hey, you got to check these things like I just damaged it then. 3K3. And this one over here is supposed to be 100. And yeah, that's 100. I don't suppose Pionov's still around, is he? This is where I find it's a problem when people start guiding you or telling you how to go about things with these sort of repairs, is that you tend to stop thinking for yourself. And so when you sort of get to the end of what you were initially testing, all of a sudden you're kind of like, well, what am I going to do? And then you look around for that person, you're like, where are you? You know, you're supposed to be helping me, and they're off doing their own stuff. So you can't really expect of them to do it, but it is unfortunately what happens a lot. Pianov wasn't following. Oh, I was just saying that, like I'm checking the SPI ROM there. SPI, yeah, you just have to forgive me, Pianov. I'm just really not really chatting properly at the moment. I'm just trying to think how I'm going to diagnose this. No, no, no. Don't. I've never watched any Barat stuff. Maybe what I'll do at this point, rather than focusing on this missing 1.1 volt, maybe I'll go check all the other CD3215s and see if they're misbehaving in any way. So like we'll check this one here. Because we're like, okay, well the 1.1 loss, fine, we understand why that's happening at least. So let's see if there's anything else, another chip that's, say, missing a different LDO output. Check the ports on the other side, but yeah, okay, see. Once again, Pernov suggests what I was just about to do. Okay, it looks like I've been over here too at some point. I can't even remember exactly what the fault was on this board off the top of my head. Okay, one close to me. Yeah, Rodrigo, screen tearing is probable. Something's happened with the setup at the moment, but that would probably mean I would have to reboot the machine and reconfigure things, and I'm just not going to do that. Yeah, 5 and 9. Okay, like right now, that one there, sitting at 3.3, that was just a probing limitation. 3.4, 1.8. Okay, that would probably use the 1.1. Yeah, that's 1.1 there, and so that's obviously not showing up. Yeah, 1.8. Measured the wrong place for something there. Yeah, this one here, I'll meant 1.8. And yeah, this is 3.3. Yep. Okay, so that one's fine as well, ignoring the 1.1. Hey, Israel. Steve K, I wish that was the case. Maybe I'm just a bit sluggish. Looks like I need to really clamp this one down. Because, yeah, I'm just going to jump around. Jump around. Jump up, jump down. What? Oh, do not do this to me. Alright, this is no fun. Maybe I have done something with it, but I can't seem to find the original screws for it. I mean, everything appears to be labelled correctly, but still no screws. I better take the rubber bungs off it. You lose those rubber bungs, you're not going to find them again. With the infrared actually, as far as I remember, diagnosed this originally. There was a shorted 3215. And I do believe I replaced that, but it didn't resolve the issue. And it was quite a while ago, because what happened is I then jumped, they sent me 2 of these machines. So I jumped to the next one, and the next one I was able to fix up. But it had a bad keyboard, but then I found I could sneak it in at Apple, and Apple were going to replace the keyboard, so it was kind of, yeah, anyway. Needs to say, this languished too long, it's my own fault, and yeah, now I'm paying for it. This is what happens when devices languish too long in your workshop. Even if you label things really well, supposedly keep things in containers, it's way too easy to lose track. For some reason, my brain is telling me that there should be a cap there, but I don't think there is. Okay, so we're on a reboot at the moment. What am I doing? Voltages. What do you think of the MacBook leaks and the ARM processors? Well, be interesting to see what they come up with. So I'm not really convinced that they're going to knock Intel out that quickly. It is going to take time. Okay, so we're dealing with this fuse here. Yeah, forgetting how the screws reassemble is another common one. Yes, absolutely. Okay, FB201, QB0400. Okay, so this will be UB400 that we're working on, which is the one at the back here. Well, I think the issue is that people do forget of how powerful the x86 series is right now. I mean, it's not like you just come out and replace that in a hurry and get the same level of performance. Whoa, wait, what? .8. Okay, we don't have 1.8 up here, it seems, unless it's just the tip giving me grief again. Yeah, okay, we don't have 1.8 on that. Rehot CDs, they are not lining up. You sure about that? But yeah, well, we don't have 1.8 there by the looks of it. Instead we've got some dribble. The most efficient supercomputers are ARM or GPU based. See, it depends how you define. It depends on how you define efficiency for what purpose. See, the whole point of the x86 series. Hey, Warren Stamps. The whole point of the x86 series is that it's a general purpose CPU, and it's good at being a general purpose CPU, as in it does it well at handling loads or, processes, jobs that don't specifically conform to a particular design, algorithm or anything. And that is the strength of the x86 series. So with things like ARM and others, you can tune them to specific tasks more often than not, certainly more than the x86. And so you can then say, well, because you can tune them to a certain type of task, you can make them more efficient for that task. So for a given test, you can say, well, the ARMs are more effective, but the point is that as a general purpose platform, overall, if you consider all possibilities, they're not. Now, because Apple can easily get around this, because most of the time now we're either just doing surfing or whatever. Yeah, that was sitting alright, but I'm going to lift it. And the other thing is, a lot of the time ARM is meant for sort of single process, well-constrained environment, operating system, things like that. So it is going to be curious to see how they get around that. Chances are what's going to happen is, as they add coverage for more dynamic use cases, they're just going to end up migrating towards essentially what the x86 is anyway. A good example of that is in software coding. There's a program I wrote called RipMine, and it's for the purpose of decoding email files or email. I just call them mail packs, but basically, when you get an email, that block of data that makes the email, we call it a mail pack. Anyway, so I wrote this program called RipMime to decode mail packs based on the particular RFCs at the time. And it was very fast, very efficient. It's certainly much better than all the other options that were out there. But the trouble is it didn't cover all the obscure cases that people were running into in everyday jobs because of other mail user agents not quite conforming to the standard. And so as I covered more and more standards, the performance dropped, and I started to approach the effective performance of what the other platforms had anyway. And that's pretty much how it goes. So I suspect Apple ARM will basically become fat and bloated just like x86 is. But they do have a few tricks up their sleeve in the sense that because they control the OS, they can then have assistant processors in there, something for decoding or encoding video work, something for decoding or encoding, other tasks, and they just offload it to all separate processors, smaller processors, and that's how they'll get their performance without actually becoming x86. But if you run something other than macOS on it, or the particular OS that they're going to want on there, then it's probably going to be a complete disaster in terms of performance. Okay, so the question is, why is this chip not working? And regarding last night's talk, that is why I really liked the Opteron, because the Opteron was genuinely potent at being a general purpose 64-bit CPU. It did a spectacularly good job. It had nice juicy fat pathways to get stuff around. It was a good chip, particularly when you were multi-processing, like as in, you had 2 or 4 CPUs. I don't have another chip, that's the problem right now. So I'm just going to reball it, see how it goes. Because the problem is, as they add more instructions to the ARMs, then things will slow down. So I'm fairly sure it will just tend to converge towards whatever performance parameters that Intel and AMD are getting right now. They'll come at it from a different angle, different direction, but they'll probably end up around about the same. Anyway, that's just my theory without any technical knowledge of exactly what they are doing. It's all speculation. I'm kind of like Dr. Phil. I'm not a real doctor. I'm just speculating on stuff. Hey, Mohammed. Why is the microscope view split when you move anything? Probably because of the way it's... I'll see if I can change the port that it's sitting on. Maybe it'll reset, but let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's some nasty split there. Yep. Let's see if I can improve on it. Split's just moved. That's all. Okay, we'll try a different port. If everything goes to hell, it's all your fault. Sloppy fitting port. Okay, we're back. This is why I should just ignore the hell out of you people when you start going, the screen's doing this. It's like, well, you can either have the screen doing that and me streaming, or you can have nothing. Okay? Do you want vanilla ice cream, or do you want no ice cream? It's pretty much your choices, okay? Deal with it. Lip reading, yeah, that's a... it's a very useful skill. I don't know about teaching it though. Don't think it's teachable really. It's more a case of you're subjected to have to do it. Why is the stencil sitting funny? I mean, I can't lip read completely properly, but I can do a pretty good job. Most of the time, you just sort of start out with the context of the conversation. If you know that, you're already well ahead. And then you just follow the expressions, the hand movements, the eyebrows, yeah, all that sort of stuff. And you pretty much can follow along with only one or two words every couple of, one out of every 5 or 6 words. And you can carry on and find out what's going on easy enough. Most of the time, a lot of what people say is very redundant and repetitive. Too lazy to move my mouth properly. That's the other thing. There are some people who are notoriously bad to try and lip read. I may be one of them, but I don't really care because I'm not the one. I'm not lip reading myself. The moustache does not help, nor does the angle that you're getting on the camera. Hey, NE555, how's it going? Supposedly Jason Vollmer will be putting out a video soon, he says to me. Personally, I just laughed at him and told him he was full of it. given up believing that man. When he tries to tell me that he's got a video coming, it's like, sure, whatever. I'll treat you like I treat people paying me money into my bank account or sending a check. When it arrives, I'll believe you. He might have been offended by that, I'm not sure. It's his own fault. I mean, what has it been? 6 months since he's put a video out? Come on. He's had more than enough time to video at least something on his workbench. Okay, tell me something. That's way out of whack, right? They are supposed to be right next to each other. I mean, alignment-wise. Son of a... I'll just have to reflow it and see what happens, eh? God damn. It may be just half a ball out or something, I don't know. It just feels wrong. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's still got a problem, still got a shift. Oh, bravo. Is there no end to the injustice? Yeah, well, I can't see diddly squat. The board's become a no-fix when I actually decide it's a no-fix. Not much more than that. So here we go now. It didn't catch on fire, so I suppose it's a start. It's still rebooting. Such bollocks. For all I know, we've just got to... bollocks. Let's do the voltage tests again. It's going to be a bit of a dud night, folks. Okay, I'm in the wrong port. So that won't make the circuit happy. Okay, we've got the right port. 3.4. Well, we've got our 1.8 back. Three 3.3. 1.8. Yeah, we've got our 1.8 back. Okay, so we don't have the 1.1. Last time the bad one was causing the SM bus SDA to be pulled low. What? Turn off? Which pin? Let me check the other chip first, turn off. The UB300. Through 7. Point 8. .78, and of course we won't be having 1.1. Oh, we got 1.1 on this one, Pionov. That one's giving us 1.1. So we do get a 1.1 on UB300, but we don't get it on UB400. We'll wait for Pionov to insightfully tell us why. Oh, we do get now. It's all over the place. Okay, so it seems like it's cycling as it loops around as the power does the reboot. The 1.1 recycles. 5320. Oh, right, 5320 on the other side, right. Up here. So there was, yeah, there's definitely work that I did do up here. I'm just going to soften up this flux. I think the 3v3 section got beaten up as well. Pionov, you still think there's an issue with the 3215 on the other end, as in the first ones that we started working on that I felt like was originally damaged? Quite possibly you're right. Unfortunately, we have the scenario where we don't have any more spare 3215s. So I may just have to simply now wait until I can get some more stock of those. Goodness knows how damn long that's going to take. Oh, that's the SM Bus 4. Okay. This is a different board, by the way, Pionov. This is not the one that we worked on last night. This is a new board. The one that we worked on last night, that's working fine. It's been washed and dried. So we were just waiting now for it to... No, I've got no donor boards. We did have a donor board, and hilariously, both of the chips were damaged with liquid damage. And so we ended up having nothing. .83. 2.83 is actually pretty low, unless it is doing some clocking on that. Okay, 3.2. I can only imagine that 2. Yeah, that's got to be simply an average. Yeah. Same symptoms. It seems that we do have information clocking across the SM bus 4. Oh, right, I see what you're saying, Pernov. Yeah, I understand now. Sorry about that. I wasn't quite with you on that. As it often happens. T83, 3. Yeah, so they seem to be okay. Yeah, Barry, normally, up until now, I haven't seemed to go through them that often, but it seems just as I put that addition into Flexboard View and OpenBoard data, all of a sudden now I need a whole bunch of CD3215s. So, yeah, it might be time to invest and buy, I don't know, a reel of 50 of them or something. Let's see who's got some decent prices. I think the value should be higher than 2.8. If it's clocking though and it's got a 3.3, then I would imagine its average would be 2.8. It's not too bad an average. I'll put the scope on it, Pernov, and see what it looks like. Give me a scope. Oh, God. Now, where did I put that lead? Would have been nice if they had... I should buy a right angle IEC connector. Oh, there it is. Unfortunately, no one's going to get to see this. Well, there goes my hook. I think I just need to give up for the night. I'm going to start creating more damage than what I want at this rate. I'll still need to make a lot of things, yes. Like I said, you unfortunately are not going to be able to see this, Mr. Anderson. Seem to be getting gibberish. Channel 1. Auto set. I need to be able to press auto set. Damn you. I need to be able to press auto set after I've got my finger on the thing. Yeah, it's definitely clocking something, but I don't know what. No, I'm gonna go to sleep. Sleep beckons. I'm sorry. Forgive me. At this stage, I really do need to just get some more chips. And maybe this time I'll just yeah, swap them out wholesale. I don't know. Sometimes when you can't think straight, that's what you do. Because I'm fairly sure that all 4 of these were replaced, because of the fact that even after I found the first one that was faulty, it still didn't come up, and I ended up replacing them all. Now Lewis would have to charge me a premium for. He's got to cover his postage costs and expenses, which will be on top of whatever China charged him. So I would be basically paying him no real. Well, I'd be paying him for the inconvenience, rather than I just go to AliExpress and get my own. What are you? Oh, you're a Mux chip. Haha, yeah, that was fun. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I'm wiped. I'm sorry. Bad night. It's the way it goes sometimes, but thanks for sticking around. And I will maybe see you tomorrow. I don't know. We might get some new jobs in tomorrow. So obviously these CD3215 jobs are going to have to wait till I get more stock. Otherwise, I'm really just spinning my wheels and wasting everybody's time, which is not a good thing. So I appreciate that you're here. Appreciate you all confusing me. Thank you very much, Panov. You're the big winner there. And I will, yeah, maybe see you tomorrow. Anyway, until the next time, you all take care. I'll catch you later.